You know all those shrimp shells that you have left over when you eat some boiled shrimp, or when you are getting ready to cook shrimp and you go ahead and shell them before you cook them? Don't throw those shells away. Keep them, because they make the best stock in the world. And yes, you can buy chicken stock, you can buy beef stock, you can buy fish stock, but shrimp stock is not as easily found. And man, what a difference it makes when you're doing a shrimp-based dish to have a stock that's made from shrimp. So that's what we're going to do today. We are going to make some homemade shrimp stock from scratch. Hey guys, thanks for joining us. If this is your first time tuning in, let us know you're out there by giving us a big thumbs up below, and then hit that subscribe button to make sure you never miss a video. Now, let's start cooking. So let's check out our ingredients. With any stock that you're going to make, you basically need a base, usually of some onions, and then some other aromatics. So in this case, I've got some onions just roughly chopped. I've even got the peels in here. And one of the reasons we're using those is just for the color. It's nice to have that nice color on a shrimp stock. So you need that. You've got your aromatics. Then you've got whatever your protein is. In this case, it's shrimp shells. And that's where your flavor is going to come from. And then just some herbs to enhance that, and a little bit of peppercorns. And we are actually going to deglaze our pan with some dry sherry. This is actually a medium dry sherry. It doesn't take very much, but man, it just gives your stock that just a little extra something, that little extra je ne sais quoi, as they say. And then we've got some tomato puree or tomato paste, very concentrated tomato paste, just to give it that amazing flavor and some beautiful color. So our ingredients are our shrimp shells, we've got some onions, carrots and celery, and we've got some crushed garlic here. Again, I've just left the peel on that. And we've got our herbs, we got a little bit of olive oil, and you can use a light olive oil, you can use, you know, avocado oil, you can use grapeseed oil, whatever you want. Some peppercorns, and again, these are the things that I wanted to put in this stock. If you've got some fennel bulb that you'd like to put in it, or if you've got some star anise or any other flavor that you would like to have in your stock, you can, you know, feel free to put that in there. And this is the basic way to make any stock, whether it's you know, a chicken stock or a shrimp stock or beef stock or what have you. So let's get going. For making this stock, we're using a Dutch oven. And you know, you could use a Dutch oven, you could use a big stock pot, whatever you have will work. So we're just going to add a little bit of our olive oil to it. So we're starting here by just adding our onions along with some olive oil to our Dutch oven, and we're just going to cook them until they're soft and translucent. Basically, we're going to sweat them, and we're not looking for really any color on these onions. We just wanted to get them nice and soft, so that when we put our shrimp shells in, they'll be releasing all that wonderful flavor. And as our onions start sweating and releasing their moisture, we're just going to add just a little bit of salt to it, and that actually helps to pull more of the moisture out of the onions, and just moves the process right along. So we'll get these sweated and soft and translucent, and then we'll add our shells. Okay, our onions are moving along very nicely here. They're getting very soft, and I don't know if you can see, but you can just kind of see the difference there, where they're starting to turn translucent. So that's perfect. Now let's just add our shrimp shells in here, and I've got probably enough shells here. It's probably from 1.5 pounds, maybe 2 pounds of shrimp, something like that. So we're just going to put those in. And we just want to, you know, we want to bring out the beautiful pink color in these guys. And as you can see, they're already starting to turn pink. And one of the things I like to do when I'm doing this is just crush them with your, if you've got a blunt end rolling pin, just helps bring out flavor. Man, you should smell this. It's just shrimp, shrimp, shrimp. If you love shrimp, boy, I'm telling you what, this is an incredible flavor, an incredible aroma. Okay, that's wonderful. And our heat is probably, we've actually got it turned up pretty high right now because we're just trying to get this color established. And once we do, can you see that? They've already turned pink. So that's wonderful. So now what we'll do is add our other aromatics to the pot. And again, we've got our crushed garlic there, carrots and celery. And we'll add that. And we'll let those cook for a few minutes. And we'll move to our next step. All right, so we've cooked our carrots and celery and garlic for a few minutes. Man, look at that color. Isn't that beautiful? All right, so now we're just going to tip in a little bit of our, I'm probably going to use, it's probably 1.5 tablespoons, 2 tablespoons of tomato puree or concentrate. And again, that just helps establish some beautiful color and brings out the great flavor of this stock. And I'm on a cast iron, this is a cast iron Dutch oven, so you know your heat doesn't need to be up real high because cast iron of course carries transmits heat very well, conducts heat very well. So we'll get that all mixed around, and once we cook that in for about a minute and a half or so, let's deglaze our pan with our dry sherry. So I'm going to move it away from the fire just a little bit, just to be safe. And again, I only put probably, that may have been a 1/4 cup, I don't know, of sherry in there. So we want to bring that up, and we want to let that sherry kind of come to the boil, and then we'll let it reduce a little bit once it starts boiling, and that just intensifies the flavor. And we'll move to our next step. Our sherry is basically almost disappeared, so that's everything's absorbed its flavor. So now we've deglazed our pot, and now let's just add our water. Or actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and add our herbs and our peppercorns, and let's stir those around a little bit. And all of this is going to be strained out, so not really a big reason to put it in, cheesecloth or to make a bouquet garni or anything inside of a leaf. We're just going to be straining all of those solids out. So now we can add our water, and honestly, I've got about 4 cups of water here. I could probably put twice as much. So you can fill this up. This is going to be a nice intense stock. So I'm going to go ahead and fill it up with water to about there, and let that come to the boil. Our water is basically starting to come to the boil here. So one of the things you don't want to do is boil a stock. So once it kind of gets to this point where all of the impurities are coming to the surface here, it's time to skim it. So that's what we'll do now. We'll just skim all of those things that are coming to the top. Look at that beautiful color though. And no, we're not throwing away flavor. We're just throwing away some things that are going to cause our stock to not be clear. We want our stock to be, well, translucent. It's not really clear, it's translucent. There we go. So once you kind of get to that point, and you want to reduce that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to move this to another burner that's less aggressive, and we'll continue to skim this just like that. And what you can do is just kind of move things around to where all of that, everything you want to skim is kind of to one side, and then just take your spoon and go around like that. And then rinse your spoon with some nice cool water, or your ladle with some nice clean water. Very nice. Okay. So that's pretty well skimmed. And at this point, what I like to do is go ahead and use a pastry brush and just go around the rim of the pot this way. And that way it keeps things from sticking to the side and burning and discoloring and this, you know, bringing a taste that you don't want into your stock. So now the hard work is done. We'll let this go 30 or 40 minutes and then we'll strain it and that'll be our stock. Our stock has been cooking for about 10 minutes or so. And you can see we've got a little bit of buildup of some of the impurities. So as your stock is kind of cooking away, just go ahead and take care of that and use your ladle to go around. And again, our goal is to make sure that our stock is nice and clean and pure. So as it simmers, you'll get some of these impurities that'll come to the top, and you just want to skim those. And probably after, I'm thinking after this time, you know, you can kind of tell when it's pretty much, when it's done, you know, getting all the impurities up to the top. So now I think we'll just let it go for probably another 15 minutes and it should be ready to go. Our shrimp stock has been simmering now for 30-35 minutes and it smells incredible. Let's just take just like a little sip. Oh my goodness. It's really good. I mean, you could eat that. You could drink that by itself. For me, it tastes like shrimp soup. I mean, I just love shrimp. There's nothing in it. There's no seasoning. There's some peppercorns in there, but there's no salt, which of course brings out flavor. But that has incredible shrimp flavor. So that is what we're going for. This stock is good. It's ready to go. So now what we'll do is we will strain this into another pot and strain out all the solids. So we'll start by just removing some of the solids, and we'll just put those directly into our conical strainer here, which, by the way, this is a China cap sieve. It's an incredible piece of equipment. I literally could not live in the kitchen without this. So it is absolutely worth spending the effort and a little bit of money to get a sieve like this or a strainer like this. As you can see, it's very fine mesh and it's got this support down on the bottom that when you put it down here and you are, you know, pushing through, it's very strong and it won't collapse. So it's really well worth investing in one like this. And I think we'll have a link to this on the at the bottom of the video if you'd like to check into it. But now this is the good part, where we strain out all the solids, turn our heat off, and now you have to be sure and take your ladle and just push all that goodness right through. Okay, so this is where this strainer comes in really handy. And just push right down on it. So we'll get all that pushed through, and that'll be it for our stock. Our stock has been strained, and look at that color. That color means flavor. So I'm just going to let this sit for a minute and let it cool down. And then, you know, we can put it in storage bags if we want to keep it for later use. It'll freeze for probably a month and still be very good. And by the way, when we first started this process, I used shrimp shells that I had frozen, and they've probably been frozen for 2 or 3 months. And so you know, as you use your shrimp, as you cook shrimp and you peel them, you don't have to make the stock right then. Just put those bad boys in the freezer and let them stay there until you're ready. And when you do, then you get a really incredible, intense shrimp flavored stock, just like this one. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more, give us a thumbs up below and hit that subscribe button. It's free. And ring the bell if you want to be notified as soon as we release a new video. Also, let us know in the comments if you have any special recipe requests. We really appreciate you tuning in. See you next time.